live. Boop, 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 boop.
Exactly. There we are.
Lucky bat, ooh ooh. Right before stream, I wiped this model down with some alcohol because it is kind of an old model. It's just been sitting around, and so it was really dusty. The alcohol hasn't completely dried yet, but it should be dry any second now. Across mail, hi there, Pepsi flavored Alexa Pro, what's up man, Lobster Han, Nick Harris, yo, Diesel Boy 420, yo yo, Kick the Bandit, woohoo, my vote failed once again. Ah, the democratic process. Jamie H. Lookoff, yep. Hey everyone, oh, Sunny Boy 76, happy to see how this turns out. Yeah, I think this guy's gonna paint up real quick, because my Black Templar color scheme is not too crazy.
Yep. And you're going to paint it up in beautiful 4x3.
Yeah! Same aspect ratio as Star Trek. Most of them. I guess probably the new ones are proper.
Wow, that really changes when you make it look good.
Yeah. Ooh, it's also not in focus. There it is. Boop, boop. Jason, hey everybody, I'm in a hot tub. Hot tub flex.
Damn, watching it in a hot tub.
Probably overdid it with the alcohol. Probably just a little wipe would have been fine. It was really dusty, though. It's been sitting in my Indomitus box.
We took the photo before you did that.
Yep.
And our thumbnail's a little dusty.
Ooh, speaking of thumbnail, I need to say what this mini is, because it's kind of obscure. I don't know if many people have heard of it. It's a Space Marine.
Huh.
Yeah. It's kind of a obscure, kind of out there model. I haven't seen the trailer for Andor, the new Star Wars show, but I did see there was an article written with some fake controversy about people upset that one of the characters appears to be holding an AK-47.
Oh,
they
you
are.
Know what? I even saw that. And I don't even care about anything.
Which it is just an AK-47 with some stuff hot glued to it, but that's kind of how Star Wars does guns. They just take a real gun and glue some stuff to it.
So is the controversy, they gave up.
No, it's that it's like violent and scary.
Have they watched it? The movies and stuff?
People probably get shot, but that's every Star Wars.
I know.
It might be good. I really liked Rogue One.
Twist, huh? Space Marine, is that some obscure mini from Rogue Trader?
It is. Ooh, that might be
Yeah.
pushing how big I can have text. You know what? If I put it right here, it's a Space Marine in Terminator.
Great.
There we go.
And this is the quality we put into this stream.
Yeah! Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best for all of you folks.
Ooh, speaking
So,
of...
say you're welcome.
Speaking of Star Wars guns with stuff hot glued to them, the original Han Solo pistol is apparently found and is being auctioned. I think Rock Island Armory is doing the auctioning. It'll be... I haven't investigated too hard, so I don't know which Han Solo pistol it is, because he has a few different ones throughout every movie.
So are you gonna get it?
Yeah.
I mean, we have all that raid money.
Yeah! Gears. Hey, JD, see the new Kroot Trekker model? Looking right up your alley. Kroot and a bird. Yeah! It's a really cool model.
Grouper. It's a Kroot and a bird. It's a Kroot and a bird. It's a Kroot bird.
Oh, Sunny Boy 76, try to make it a challenge by pushing the glow effect on the power sword to the limit. Oh, I'm definitely going to be making that a fancy dancy power sword. Ooh,
I think you should prime it black and then be done.
And this airbrush has just been through the ultrasonic cleaner. Well, I did it last night, and it is very clean, and hopefully not broken. I did spray some water through it today to make sure, and it seems fine. I don't know what would break, but airbrushes are temperamental beasts.
Right. So am I.
Kevin Killian watching while assembling my new Kill Team Octaris box. Sweet!
Damn.
Captain Blue, the Terminator captain looks weird. That cloak just doesn't look good on him. Nah, I think he's rocking it.
Yeah. He's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sword presenting poses in every Space Marine.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Look at my sword. That's what he's saying. Look at it. Isn't it cool? I got it at the mall.
Look at my sword.
One of those stores that sells pewter statues and samurai swords.
Everyone's favorite.
Mm-hmm. Twist. Is it one of the fully functional Han Solo pistols, or is one of the safety versions? I don't know if he ever had a functional pistol. I don't think he did. In the original version of Star Wars, you could see Princess Leia firing one of the Stormtrooper guns. It was actually ejecting cartridges. But I think, for the most part, all the characters had non-functioning, or just not loaded weapons. Because, yeah, Han, he at least had two pistols, because when they were filming in Europe, he had one gun, and then when they filmed in America, he had a different gun that looked slightly different. Joseph Watson, temperamental Terminator. Say that 3 times fast. Temperamental Terminator, temperamental Terminator, temperamental Terminator. Do I win?
Destroyed. Right, pay up $10. That's a $10 right there.
Chris House, a Spencer's gift sword.
Ah, yep. Little Spencer's. I liked it because you could go into the back and look at all the dicks.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Junior. Yo, Jay killed that 3 times fast. What the fuck?
I talk a lot. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah, but you couldn't say the Crude Kill Team name.
Oh
3 times
yeah.
fast.
What is the crew kill team?
Oh god. I don't know because it's stupid.
Foe, do you not need to wear a mask while airbrushing? You definitely should, and I definitely should be, but I won't tell if you don't.
I'm telling. I don't know who I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell someone.
Culture Wars
Everyone in the chat, who
diplomacy.
should I tell?
Culture Wars diplomacy talks a lot and says little. Ah, you nailed it.
Oh. That's the EOB motto.
Yeah. Terra Spleen, does anybody else think they're going to make Primaris Terminators, or are the Gravis armor supposed to do that? Nope, they're different. I guarantee we will get Primaris Terminators, probably with 10th edition. Probably coming in the launch box so that everybody buys it.
I won't. I'm not gonna buy it.
Okay, well, I'll buy 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Unit 5! Jay, what if I get an airbrush and don't move my workstation from beside my bed? Well, I don't know if I would. You should definitely wear a mask, and you should probably not airbrush where you live, or like in a living area, like a bedroom or a
I would advise again. I would
kitchen,
advise
or
against it. Especially the priming and like clear coats and gloss coats. I think that'd be a lot.
yeah,
Eat-
just a little
eat too
acrylic
much.
squirt here and there. You'd probably be fine. Open a window, but yeah, if you do anything else, anything more than that.
Squirt. But yeah.
Ooh, she's singing. The ultrasonic cleaner really seemed to clean it up nice. I even put my my Patriot 105 in there, but and it's super clean now, although still broken. Doesn't spray.
Well, that'll do it. Brump, I airbrush in my bed.
From in the hot tub.
Yep. Space Ramen, so you're saying my airbrush shouldn't be in my basement? No, it shouldn't be in your parents' basement.
Basement's probably fine.
Yep.
Unless you live in a basement.
Well, that's what I'm implying.
Stern Merc, did you hear about the complete rules reset for 10th? Hopefully it turns out like the Kill Team case where the reset made the game so much better. Yeah, I definitely think that'll be cool. I watched Uncle Atom's video about the new Warcry, and he says it's basically the exact same game except for they added reaction phase. And what's kind of cool about the way that they've instituted reaction phase is you can do reactions, but only if you still have action points. So it could be beneficial to end your guy's turn with still having action points to spend, because if you get attacked, then you get to react and use an action point.
Interesting. They should add that to Kill Team.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so
That'd
maybe
be
you
really
know
cool.
maybe you run out there, but then you just stay put and you So you try to bait something to come at you, and then you get to react.
Interesting.
Or you get the drop on some guys who have already completed their activations, and so you're like, they can't do nothing. Terraspleen question: how do you guys clean your airbrush thoroughly without taking it apart for deep cleaning? I mean, if you want to do it thoroughly, you have to take it apart. But I mean, if you just spray out all the paint, and then you hold down. I'll take like a paper towel or my T-shirt, and I'll cover the front, and then I'll pull the trigger so that bubbles appear, and that's all of the paint that's in the nozzle getting flushed out. And so you do that until just clean water is there, and then it's clean. And then it's probably not a bad idea to take apart the front end and then use a airbrush tip cleaner to just quickly check for any gunk inside of the nozzle. And then you should, I'm pretty bad about doing this, but you should just take like a paper towel or something and wipe the cup so that paint doesn't build up. Really, it's not that big a deal, but primer really glues itself down because it's primer. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to be a good little airbrush owner, and I'm going to give the cup a wipe. Perfect.
Give your cup a wipe.
Now it's slightly cleaner, although I've covered it in the talcum powder dust that are on these latex gloves. So.
Yeah. Not always perfect.
I don't know how it would be possible, but I kind of wish that this little cup screwed on as opposed to just pressure fit in there. Because I have a tendency to knock it around because I'm a lefty.
Well, that's your first problem.
It is.
I literally think if you said that to them, they would be like, yeah, you don't be lefty. How about try that?
Good word, diplomacy. After yesterday with the blood effect, he needed a deep clean. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gave it a really good cleaning yesterday. Ghosty Boy question: what got you into wargaming / Warhammer 40k? I got into it from my cousin. He played fantasy and 40k, and then I brought some minis to school, and then I showed them to Nick, and Nick was like, that's neat. And that's how you got in it.
Yeah, more like, oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, you know, a little bit more subdued.
Sydney Boo, is there a budget airbrush you recommend for a newbie? I think like a $20 China special off of eBay is perfectly fine. That's what I had for like a year until I broke it. It'll do the job. A really good quality airbrush is the Badger Patriot 105. You can usually find them for around $80 or $90. Sometimes you can find them for more. I wouldn't buy it for more.
Yeah.
Ink 11, hi. Jason M. My cousin also got me into 40k. Terraspleen, I blew my money on a Primaris bike chaplain. Jay, you're a terrible influence. Oh, but the bike chaplain is so cool. The Android Cowboy just got here. Are you doing Grey Knights? Nope. Black Templar. Black Templar, Space Marine Captain, and Terminator armor. I've had this model for ages. I think I bought it on eBay because it used to come in the Space Marine Start Collecting box. Minty
Tunes, EOB got me into 40k.
Sydney Boo. Damn,
there you
Badger
go.
Patriot 105 on Amazon is 170. Yeah, that's a bad price for that airbrush. If you're in the US, Spray Gunner is excellent. They have everything you could possibly imagine for spraying of paint. Although I've had mixed results with Spray Gunner brand products. I got one of their no-name compressors. Sucked. Although they did, when I bought it, they did throw in a whole bunch of paint and a hose, which was kind of nice. It almost makes up for the compressors sucking.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it does. Nature's bald. What made the compressor suck?
It was broken. And it was very loud. Put the primer on a little thick. It's taking its time drying. Too thin coats sometimes applies to the airbrush too, but sometimes I'm impatient and then I pay for my crimes. JCZERZ, what chapter are you looking to paint him? Loyalist, I'm guessing. Black Templar, to go with my Black Templar army.
You have a Black Templar army?
I do. It's a small one, but it's growing. 10,000 points. Foe, what is a good compressor to buy? They are all the same. I am convinced they're all made in the same factory in China. I think like 30 or 40 bucks is the price to look for. Just get a small one, a small hobby compressor, tankless. And now everybody's gonna leave a comment saying you gotta get the tank. I had one of the tank, it sucked.
Well, there you go. Crash TV, if a compressor sucks, are you sure you didn't get a vacuum pump by accident?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't. I get it.
Yeah, you almost got got.
Took me too long.
Almost got got on that. Yep.
South End Studio, returning to the hobby after many years away. I must say I am a little sad to see that there are very limited options for my girlfriend to choose so she could join the craft. Everyone said she should paint the Tau because she felt they were meh. I mean, I think there's lots of options in terms of games and units and models and choice. Everyone said she should paint Tau. Yeah, if everybody says paint Tau, that is the last thing she's going to want to do. Not that John. Tankless, mankless.
Mr. Harvey Mancano too. It's been a while since Jay has burped. I know I feel like I've been doing it this whole stream.
Javier Escuela, how do you find the motivation to paint every day? I like painting. Oh my goodness. I almost gave my white ink a shake with the thing open.
I think you should have. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think that would have been fun.
The Bio Lizard. Jay, what do you think of the small air compressor Ninjan showed off a few months ago? I don't like the look of it. He was very impressed by it, but he also mentioned that he found out that the compressor he had been using was broken. So I feel like it's very easy to be impressed when what you've known has been a poorly functioning compressor. It also is kind of long. I guess you could stick a hose onto it, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to mess with one of those. I feel like it would want to break. It's not very good in general. It doesn't have any power.
I like to think that inside of all of the compressors is one of those. That's what it actually is.
Probably. Like, I feel like that would be a perfect product for, like, a birthday clown who wants to do some, like, some little, like, face painting or something. Because you can't really have, like, like, drag around a compressor. But I think a cheap little air compressor is fine. Does a great job. Chase Harrington, what color is your boy? It's gonna be black. Black armor.
But why is it white?
I guess that's the step one. I'm doing my highlights.
Oh my gosh.
Trav0003, so brush painter here. Normally with Space Marines I paint on the sprue, then touch up after assembling. Negatives, positives of your professional opinion. I don't paint on sprue. Because, like, see what I just did on this guy? I sprayed airbrush from above, and so the fake light is hitting the model perfectly, or if you paint on sprue, it's all going to be kind of flat because you don't know what direction the light's coming from. I also feel like quite a bit, you're going to have to do quite a bit of correcting, unless you're cleaning mold lines on the sprue. Like, you scrape the mold lines on the sprue, but then when you assemble it, you still have to scrape off all of the little nubbins from where the model connects to the sprue. I would say, I would say don't paint on the sprue. Also, I mean, that's okay-ish for some models that are simple, but like there's models that are dozens of pieces, and so that's going to be quite a project. Southern Stews, I do want to do some Chaos Space Marine stuff after my elves. Sweet. I love all the new Chaos models.
Yeah, they're great.
Champ Styles, I know that there's not as much room as 40k, but are you going to do some lore for any of your Legion models? I don't know. I would feel like not, because Star Wars. You just watch the movies. It's that.
You should set your Star Wars Legion stuff in 40k.
Ooh.
There you go.
And then the Empire was completely eradicated by just the Ultramarines over a weekend.
And Jar Jar Binks.
And Jar Jar Binks. That was probably too much.
You know, top 10 characters.
Everybody loves Jar Jar.
Top 10 characters all time. Just of all characters that exist.
Sydney Boo, is that effect only possible with the airbrush? You can also use a spray paint can, and you can do a pretty darn close effect with dry brushing. I probably sprayed a little much. Maybe I'll have to change up my recipe for the black armor wash a little bit.
Jason, Jar Jar is best. Everybody loves Jar Jar.
Von Bismarckus looks awesome already, Jay. How much do you thin your whiting for your Zenithal? I never get mine as silky as you're able to. I don't thin it at all. You might want to try playing with the pressure of your airbrush, either setting it higher or lower, and see if that gives you less speckling.
Have you found a specific, like for your setup? What do you have it at?
Let me see.
It's like 60. I was going into the airbrush room.
It's at 35 right now. 35 psi.
There you go.
But it could be your nozzle or needle or airbrush. Just happens to spray better at a higher or lower psi. Maybe do a little experimenting. You know, it did do a really good job this time. I wonder if a little bit of that has to do with the cleaning too. It's a freshly cleaned airbrush. Doing a little bit better than sometimes when it's a little gunked up. Ethan Huar, is this a kit bash or what? Nope, standard issue model. Although I think this guy's meant to have a bear head, and I replaced it with a regular Terminator helmet.
So it's kit bash.
Yeah, it's a kit bash.
Kit bash.
Chase Harrington, I've tried a white under my base, but the effect is minimal. Was my base layer too thick? Yeah. If you thin your paint, it'll be a little bit transparent. My next step is going to be putting on some Games Workshop contrast paint, which is super see-through. It's a transparent paint.
Flux Pasta, is Nick gonna grow a beard or mustache? Yes. How'd you know?
Chase Harrington, Jay's confirmed to be wearing pants. They've discovered my secret.
Oh, no.
Aaron Grit, 35. I wonder if it's a smaller needle. Nope, it's as big as needles you can get. 0.5 millimeters.
Boom. Sternberg wearing pants unsubbed.
Yeah! Trask Queen, is this model seeing any table time in the future or just a display piece? Yeah, I'm painting it for play. Oh, I just noticed I didn't really think about the base in my highlighting. But you know what? It'll be fine. So I'm going to put together a little wash of some Nuln Oil, some Contrast Black Templar, where's my cup of water, and just a tiny drop of Leviathan Blue. Because a little bit of blue will add information and make it look a little darker. G95, I'm wearing freezer pants. Ooh, that sounds lovely. I wish I had some freezer
I'm wearing
pants.
parachute pants.
Yeah. Aaron Grit, Jay, I'm buying an airbrush tonight on the Harden Steinbeck. Do you have any experience with the Evolution or just the Infinity? I have the Infinity. It's a beautiful airbrush. Very expensive, but it is a very nice airbrush. Very expensive. Holy moly. I would bet all the airbrushes that Harden Steinbeck makes are excellent, so maybe just go with the cheaper one. and probably a .2 or a .3 millimeter needle. I have the .1 or the .15, too small, way too small. I could do everything I can do with it now. I could have been doing it with a .2 and clog way less. Sean McLean, how do you Zenithal? What is it, white over gray? It's white over black. But you can play around and do a lot of different stuff with Zenithals. Like this guy is wearing armor, so I kind of want a colder tone to him in general. But like if I was painting a wild animal or something, I might Zenithal with like a yellow or a brown. So that's, my colors are very, very saturated. Or you can have the base color be something different. Like maybe base it in like a purple or a dark blue or a dark green and spray white or a color on top. You can Zenithal different things, different colors. Like maybe you Zenithal the guy white, but then you Zenithal his weapons pink. Would it still be a Zenithal? Zenithal just means top. Like from above, from the zenith. But like a Zenithal highlight sort of does mean white over black.
Zenith.
And now just a teeny little scoop of Leviathan blue. Or maybe a little more than that. Let's get wild.
VG95. I want to go home and paint.
Me too. Haynes, what's a good guardsman pack? I don't know, something with a lot of pockets to hold their things. Okay, thank you. Harder sells a .15, so I'll avoid it. Yeah, too small. Good. It does what it says on the tin, but too small. Terrasween, what color would you suggest to highlight copper with? Citadel Brass Scorpion. I'd say silver. I would highlight any metallic with silver. It just works.
Works and twerks.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Oh, Games Workshop contrast paint. Use silly formula. Kind of got to be quick because it dries faster than you'd think. And if you don't get it where you want it, you'll get a horrible line where your last brushstroke ended and your new one begins.
Han, Which guardsman should I buy? I want to create my own characters, kind of like you.
I mean, well, you gotta maybe gotta come up with some sort of an idea. Are they fighting in the jungle, in the desert, in the Arctic, in space? Dan, am I supposed to leave the Q part on the back of Citadel paint caps? Is that why mine don't stay open? Yeah, Citadel pots have like a little hook in the back. You definitely don't clip that or tear that off. That is what keeps the lid up. I've had some that had some flashing. It's like some really bad flashing, like a mold line right on the hook, and so I had to like trim that a little before the cap would stay up.
Amazing. And would you say that's because Games Workshop hates the fans?
Yes, yeah, I would say so. Oven21, Jay, would you use purple as a shadow for an orange paint scheme, or do you recommend a different color? I know pink will give you a brownish color once you put orange on, or once you put yellow on top. I would assume purple would do a similar thing, but you'll probably have a little harsher of a transition. Hello, Ndio. Trying to get into kill team, and I can't decide between Deathcore, Krieg, and Corsairs. What do you recommend? They're very different. Deathcore like to get into shooting positions and then shoot stuff. The Corsairs are all about close combat, pretty much. So I guess if you want to be shooting, you do Deathcore of Krieg. If you want to be fighting, you do Corsairs. Says, which 40k faction do you think would be the best at playing 40k? They're all the same.
Eldar. They move it with their mind.
They all win, they all
Cheating.
lose.
Eldar would win.
Probably the Tyranids, because they're like biologically
They'd kill you.
fighting. They would just eat the models.
Yep.
Hello, Indio. Which one is easier to learn? Kill Team, Deathcore, Krieg, or Corsairs? They're both tricky. All of the teams that come in those special boxes have a lot of rules, and you have to learn all your rules and learn when to apply all your rules. So I would say they're exactly the same. Shy Guy 489, Citadel pots are just bad. Flipping a dude at 88, pots are evil. Well, it sounds like y'all will be very interested in a particular piece of merchandise. It didn't come. There it goes. Boom.
Pots. That's us wearing those shirts.
It is.
For real.
And we also have a better picture. I mean, not better, because obviously this is a hell of a photo of an unedited photo.
Right.
But that is a close-up of our t-shirt designs.
Flipping a dude at 88. Shill it, baby. A we be shilling.
Benjamin Paulson. Hey Jay, I've had the feet of some of my Hormigons snap off of the little plastic bar that they stood on. Any alternative way to attach them to the base, or should I just glue them back onto the bar? If they snapped off cleanly, that'd be amazing. Yeah. Hormigons, Termigons, Gene Stealers, they're tricky. They kind of need that bar. I've glued all of my Gene Stealers to 32mm bases because otherwise they monkey in a barrel so hard on tiny little 25s. Yeah, you kind of need that bar. The only thing I would say is you can pin them for sure. Just drill a little hole in their foot, drill a little hole in the base, and then pin them. That's gonna give you a 100% quality bond. But it's a
James.
big pain in the butt.
Flipna dude at 88. I got both shirts that make the chicks go crazy.
Yeah.
See? Happy customer.
Let's see, is that dark enough? Oops, I completely messed up on this guy's little camera. Yeah, I can fix that. You have to wait for him to dry a little more. He looks a little bright for a Black Templar. Foo Free Tech. Jay, I recently dove into Battletech and painted up my first non-Warhammer miniatures. Hurrah! I used a matte varnish for the first time, but it came out glossy as opposed to matte. Do I need to shake it? Yeah, definitely try shaking it a lot and then spray again and see if that gives you a more matte finish. Also, things that are very, very smooth tend to always look a little glossy, even with like a matte on top. But yeah, definitely I would say try shaking the bejesus out of it and then spraying it again. You can put on as many layers of varnish as you want. It won't hurt the model.
5,000 layers.
That might do it. That might be the one.
Alright, so don't do 5,000 layers.
No. Although I bet that would look kind of neat. Like a weird model trapped in semi-transparent clear amber.
Yeah. There's amber.
Is there a video in that? How many, like 1,000 layers of varnish? God, it would take so long though. Even if you got something that dried quick.
Mm-hmm. You do it over weeks.
Yeah.
Your dad? That sounds like an EOB Wednesday type of video. How many coats of varnish can you do before a mini is clogged to hell?
That's not a bad angle.
Yep. Alright, that one's coming up tomorrow.
Lure Deandria, I'm just starting out in the hobby, got myself a Riptide, a Commander Farsight, and a squad of Fire Warriors. Wish me luck. Good luck! I like the Tau. They're fun. try Mechanic 2. You're gonna paint the Stormbolter red. Yep, you're gonna paint the Stormbolter red. You're gonna try to find somewhere, maybe his little rope. Maybe I'll paint that yellow. I like to put a little yellow on my Templar because it gives them a little more color. Seems like in like early 2nd edition, Black Templar had a lot of color to them, and then from like 3rd edition until 8th edition, they were black and white with maybe a little red. And now with the new Templar stuff, it seems like they've reintroduced a little bit of yellow, which is nice. I like the yellow. The Shy Guy 489, best place to get 40k alternatives. I don't like Games Workshop prices. 3D printing is a big one. If you just want to buy minis, who makes good Games Workshop stuff? Yeah, 3D printing is also expensive. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. Like Puppets War has some really cool Tyranids. Anvil Industries has really cool Space Marines. Victoria Miniatures has a lot of really cool Imperial Guard. Oh, there's a company, I can't think, is it Warlord Games that makes like the definitely not Imperial Guard? I don't think it's Warlord Games.
The Maker's Cult?
No, it's a real plastic minis.
I don't know.
Wargames Atlantic, that sounds right. Wargames Atlantic for the Guard. Yeah, if you want to do Imperial Guard, Wargames Atlantic has some fun stuff. I think they just came out with dinosaurs with machine guns, which is really fun. Waffle Enjoyer. Isn't Exterminatus kind of a weird thing to put on a sword? Does Homie like to blow up his own planets? It's just, it's like writing bomb on the sword. It maybe doesn't make the most sense when you think about it a little, but it's cool.
It is pretty cool.
Remember in the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet, when all of their guns had the names of swords and daggers and scabbards? Not scabbards. What's the name of the long pointy, like a fencing? A saber? I mean, they did that so that they could keep the original language, but I also think it just looked kind of fun to have a gun that says dagger. Man, they used to... I feel like back in the day, like, they really liked to make, like, the weapons from movies really cool. Like, James Bond, he had his cool pistol that only worked with his hand. Or like the first Predator movie, the old painless minigun, and like there were literal close-up, like beauty shots of the gun. Oven21, Jay, do you start a Black Templar fan or do you start with a different chapter? When I first bought some Space Marines, I kept trying to make my own thing. I thought I sort of had something where I was going to make them really, really rusty, and then they had tons of Tyranid bits, because I got a bunch of Tyranid bits. But, I couldn't come up with anything good, so I thought, I like the Black Templar the best. They are the coolest Space Marines, and so I decided to do Black Templar, and then I painted 10,000 points of them.
Lure DeAndrea. Third parties are still expensive though. 3D printing has an expensive upfront investment, but every subsequent print is more affordable than Games Workshop. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's also a great big pain in the butt.
I was going to say that, but also because if you want really good STLs, you have to pay for it. And some of that stuff is expensive. I bought a team of goblins for $20. That's expensive.
Yeah.
And of course I can print them as many times as I want, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to print them once. And, the resin, there's cheaper resins. I find that the little higher quality ones, like the Soraya works a lot better. Have way less problems. And then you have to deal with the supports, and you have to remove the supports, and you have to cure it, and you have to deal with all the chemicals, and I don't like doing that.
But it's so cheap, though.
Yeah, and there's maintenance.
There's also free stuff out there, and it usually looks bad.
Yeah, it's hard. We were looking at a bunch of stuff recently, and yeah, a lot of creative people out there. Not everybody's got the skills to match. That's okay.
And some people's hobby is just screwing around on like Blender and then just uploading it for free, and that's fun too.
Yep.
And sometimes they come up with some really cool stuff. And sometimes it looks like a smushed Space Marine. But you know what? It's free.
Yeah. Yep. People forget that their time's worth money. I think, because it is work. It's work to get it to all work. Work and work.
Brad Thornton, hey Jay, new to your channel and have enjoyed binging your videos. Keep up the great work. Will do. Terraspleen, maybe Exterminatus is a funny way of saying this sword is the bomb. Exactly. That makes much more sense than what I said. Demolition Nicholas. Ah, yes, the recoilless minigun. I missed that. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how bad it would be? Like the recoil times 1,000 rounds a second. I forget. I think it was there was a YouTube channel, Forgotten Weapons. He got to mess around with a minigun, and it was mounted onto a vehicle. And every time he pulled the trigger, and it would spit off like 10,000 rounds, but he only held it for a half second. The car would lurch back a little bit. Yeah, guns are explosion machines.
BJ95. Nick, I'll tuck you in. Tuck me in. I'll tuck you in. I love getting tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's kind of hot to get tucked in. Honestly.
And speaking of hot, and
10
tucking.
o'clock. And tucking. And something that rhymes with tucking as well. So we had one video out this week. We have 3 more coming. We have one on Wednesday tomorrow. We have one on Friday and one on Saturday. That Saturday one, we're going to be going through the Warhammer Plus catalog and watching some stuff on Patreon. So you gotta join the Patreon for that. We also have our Patreon only live stream after the normal live stream on Friday, where the patrons can join the call with their voice through Discord. It's wild. It's a lot of fun. Just all hanging out and working on stuff. We're talking about weird stuff.
Yep.
But we'll be back with another live stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. So join us for that.
Alrighty, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
And